Hello my lovely viewer, I am back once again with an American science fiction horror series, titled Stranger Thing. Watch the full video to find out the interesting part and please take care. As a disclaimer, this video includes my own analysis, commentary, and it's not a substitute of the full movie. Click the link below to watch, buy or rent the movie. In the beginning of this episode, on November 6, 1983, we see a man running in fear inside Hawkins's national laboratory. He enters the elevator, but something strange, invisible force pulls him up. In the next scene, in the basement, we see 4 teen boys talking about the most exciting game of Dungeons and Dragons ever. Mike's mom interrupts their fun and calls them for food. After that, Will, Dustin, and Lucas leave Mike's house on their bikes and head towards their own house. Lucas's house is nearby of Mike's house, so he departs from the group. Now only 2 are left in the group. To make it fun and exciting, Dustin challenges Will to a race. Will, being the faster, rides his bike, quickly leaving behind Dustin. Will unknowingly enters Hawkins' laboratory compound. Remember, lights were flickering on Mike's house when boys were leaving. On the road, Will's bike light starts to flicker, and suddenly sees some dark shadows on the road. He falls from his bike and runs away from there to his home. He reaches his home and looks for his mom. But sadly, he finds no one in the house. That dark shadow follows him to his house. Seeing this, he quickly runs to the garage and takes out the gun, loads the bullet on it. Again the light starts to flicker in his garage, and Will disappears from there. Is there any connection between the lights and dark shadows? In the morning, we are introduced to Will's elder brother Jonathan and his mom. They find that the Will is not at home and start to look for him. Will's mom quickly reaches to the police station to report her son's disappearance. The police chief doesn't take her seriously because the town is safest and there are no any incident about the child mission for the last 4 years, but shortly he takes her seriously. Meanwhile, then we see scientists coming to the lab for examining the situation. Several areas inside the lab are quarantined. The team of a scientist then enters into the particular lab where the incident had happened. They find some strange creatures growling and growing on the wall. One of the scientists talks about the girls, and she is missing. Who is she? Why they are asking about her? We will find out shortly. Moving on, it introduces us to a girl entering a house. She is the same girl whom the scientists were talking about. She steals food, but Benny catches her and gives her food and his t-shirts to wear. Growing suspicious, Benny asks her name, but she doesn't answer. He asks her about her parents, but she doesn't speak. He tries to make conversation, but she still remains quiet. He finds a tattoo with the number 011 on her arm. Benny asks her name, but she doesn't answer. Until she says her name, he decides not to give her food. She is hungry and listening to him. She says that she is 11. In the meantime, when Benny is on the phone, calling social service about her, she turned off the fan just by staring at it. From this, we know that she has some sort of power. That's why scientists are searching for her. In the meantime, police officer Hopper questions Will's friend and finds that they were in the Hawkins National Laboratory Road, so they head there. They discover Will's wrecked bike and take it to Will's house. They search his house and notice the dog looking at an old garage and barking at it. He enters there and, like before, light flickers once again. He realizes something strange sounds there, and quickly orders for the search team to look up that place. They start to search. It is revealed that Hopper's little daughter had died a few years back. Now it makes sense why he smokes and drinks, and lives a life of hell. Then the episode cut us to Mike's house, where all of them are having dinner. Nancy fights with her mom as they are not allowed to go out, which ruins her plan to meet with her boyfriend, while Mike fights because they are not helping to search for his best friend. Mike and Lucas plan to figure out the situation and decide to meet. They plan to join the search for the Will. Dustin, Lucas, and Mike heads toward the spot where Will's bike was discovered. In the meantime, back at Benny's house, the social worker arrives there, but turns out to be the part of Hawking lab team. She shoots Benny as soon as she enters the house. 11 happens to look all this. She quickly tries to leave, but gets surrounded by the lab people. She knocked them down and flee from there. From here we can understand that though she is small, she can fight and has a tremendous amount of power. In the meantime, Will's mom Joyce and his elder brother, Jonathan, are looking at their old pictures. Suddenly the phone rings. Joyce hears some weird kind of noise and breathes on the phone. She recognizes Will's breathing, but the phone receives a massive electric shock and the phone goes dead. The three boys start to search for Will in the heavy rain. Dustin is trying his best to convince Lucas and Mike to go back, because he is in fear that they might also disappear like Will if they stay long there. Mike and Lucas seem no longer to care about it and still search for Will. Mike hears some sound, and from out of nowhere 11 appears in front of them. They all stare at each other. The episode ends here. Will they become friends? We will find it out in the next episode. Until then, subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to support the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.